civilization was founded by the Phoenicians in 814 before Christ, but got its independence in 650 before Christ. Carthage had an empire stretching around the Mediterranean Sea. It controlled territory in South and Southeast Iberia, Corsica, Sicily, the Balearic Islands, and the northern coast of one day Morocco, Algeria, and Libya. The rise of the city of ancient Carthage and the empire as an absolute power can be attributed to its continued trading activities, colonizing as well as maintaining it, along with developing its own society and culture.
The strategic location of Carthage in a natural harbor benefited them with trade, as they dominated the Gulf of Tunis that ensured a flow of trade from the western Mediterranean. They traded tools such as swords, pickaxes, and shields, lots of animal skins, and cotton clothes. They also traded perfumes, incense, and pottery.
As ancient Rome, which was Carthage's neighbor in the Mediterranean, grew in power and expanded, a conflict between the two civilizations became inevitable. The rivalry between Carthage and Rome eventually erupted in the three Punic Wars, fought on land and sea. Rome, the enemy of Carthage, had an empire built on conquest and military strength rather than trade and wealth. The military structure was much different to the Carthaginians. During the Punic Wars, the Roman army was comprised of citizen soldiers which had different roles depending on the social class. The First Punic War took full control over Sicily and Corsica. Carthage had power on this island that were so strategically placed in the Mediterranean. After Carthage involved themselves in a dispute between two west coast cities, Massana of Syracuse in Sicily, Rome challenged them in the first of what would be three wars between two ancient civilizations. The First Punic War lasted more than 20 years. It started in the 264 before Christ and ended 241 before Christ. The Romans were victorious in the end and gained control of Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, and the Balearic Islands.
Like most civilizations in history, its armies had few soldiers who were citizens of Carthage. Instead, Carthage used great wealth to field mercenary armies. These mercenaries came from all over the empire. There were Iberians known for their swordsmanship, Libyans who fought like great hoplites, Celts, some of the bravest warriors, skilled archers from Crete, Meridians famous for the cavalry, and some knights from Italy.
Hannibal Barca was the most active general of the Second Punic War, in which he carried out one of the boldest military exploits of antiquity. He wanted revenge on Rome for humiliating Carthage in the First Punic War, so he gained territory in Iberia and built up an army. Hannibal and his army, which included 38 war elephants, left Hispania and went through the Pyrenees and the Alps with the aim of conquering northern Italy. There he defeated the Romans in great pitched battles. After the African invasion by Scipio the African, the Punic Senate called him back to Carthage, where he was finally defeated by Scipio in the Battle of Zama, and the Second Punic War was ended.
The Third Punic War that was between Carthage and Rome was during 149 before Christ and 146 before Christ. In 149 before Christ, Romans landed in Africa and made their way to the Phoenician city, which was beside Carthage. After 2 years, the Roman commander Scipio Aemilianus was sent to Africa so that he could command the Roman troops. Once in Africa, he took his armies to Carthage, forts outside the city walls, and annihilated them before then bringing the forces back to the siege. Here, Scipio organized the siege and stopped the Carthaginians being able to bring in supplies. During this renewed siege, Romans worked hard at attacking Carthage's defenses and breaking through their city wall. Once they managed to break in, the cities became a bloody battle with fighting hand to hand, causing death. Over time, Carthage surrendered and Rome won the war.